I'm gonna ramble about fanny packs. It's what I do. I hate fishing with backpacks. Just when you're fishing with a backpack, you got it on, and then you're ready to like take it off. You're ready to fucking change lures or like retie. You bust off your lure, and you're a fucking idiot. And you're sad, and now you gotta like take it off, and then you gotta bend over. Now you're down here, and your back hurts, and then you're like opening up your shit, and your rod falls on the floor, and your reel gets sandy. I'm not fucking doing it. I do fanny packs. I've been rocking fanny packs on the beach for a long fucking time. Since I was like 12. Little 12-year-old Jeremy with a little fanny pack. It happened. I've tried a bunch of them. One of my favorites was the WFO Trek pack. It was like it fit two 3600 Plano boxes and then one 3500 in the front, and then it had two rod holders, and it had a water bottle holder, and it had two little pouches for like whatever, your power bait, your core and power bait. Mine's wearing out. It's been discontinued for like a decade or something like that. They went out of business. So I've been looking for a good, como se dice, replacement. And not just a replacement, because I still have it. I still have the original Trek pack. But what I want to do is I want to get something little that can fit just one 3500 tray. And I can fit everything that I need in there. And I'll show you. I've tried a couple different ones, and normally you've really got to jam in the 3500 pack. I've had like polyester ones. I had like a pleather one, and they're like, And then I got this one, and it's got some kind of water resistant shit to it, and it has the perfect pockets, and it makes my ass look good. And I'll show you. It was $10. I'll link you. It's in the link below. Check it out. Now it's like $20 or something, and it's by a different seller, but it's the exact same thing. You know how Amazon is. What else do I gotta tell you, man? What else you gotta know? Maybe what's inside. Jeremy's fanny pack. I'll show you, fuckers. Alright, here's the bag. Doesn't even have a real brand name. I mean, I hate to insult these Chinese brands on Amazon. I don't think there's a brand on there. I like it. It's got a water resistant stuff. It's got a bunch of D-rings. I use only one of them for my pliers. The belt holds pretty good. Lots of pockets. I only really use two. I just started using a third by putting a fillet knife in there. The main pocket, we have pliers. Let's get out of the way. I do like these pliers, by the way. They got like two cutters. Boom right there and boom right there. So they wear out pretty quick. In general, on almost all these types of pliers, so I like having a second pair. This is where the 3500 box is. That fits perfectly in there, as you can see. It's snug. You could actually fit a second one if you really wanted, but it does get kind of snug at that point. Front pocket has my line. You could fit a hot dog in there if you wanted. If you wanted two of these, you can put your like trash line in there. That's kind of what I do. That's pretty much the only thing I do with those. Maybe you could put sand crabs in there, but I know you'll forget. Don't we all forget that? Here's really everything you need, in my humble opinion. You probably throw some big hammer swim baits, some 3-inch swim baits in there. Here are some 1-ounce Kastmasters. They're actually knockoff. I think the actual Acme Kastmasters have like a sharper edge right here. Other than that, these swim and they catch. It's really good to have these in your arsenal. They're super. They cast really well. They're the master after all. Classic Lucky Craft Flash Minnow 110. And I believe this is by metallic sardine. I replaced the hooks with some kind of black nickel. I think that's number 4. I would guess that's mustad, but that might be VMC. I replaced the split shots. Always have one of these around, at least. Try to have 2. This is the Big Hammer Punkinseed Grub. Maybe my favorite. This is the Big Hammer Crabby Lobster. They work good so far. Pete Wolf at Big Hammer made them just for his surf fishing up in Santa Barbara, and it works really well for him. Looks tasty, doesn't it? So here's below is the Big Hammer Morph Grub Motor Oil Red Flake, and above is the Kalin's Motor Oil Red Flake. I've caught fish on both. I think I favor the Big Hammer just a little bit more. It just looks juicier to me. Both of these are really popular. Both of them catch fish. So here we have, above is the Pearl. I got on a hot bite using these for yellowfin croaker for a hot minute, late spring last year. I bought some of these. I haven't really used them much, but they're also kind of a, microbait looking thing. A couple options for Swivels / Carolina keepers for your Carolina rig when you're surf fishing. The thing on the far left, that's a Carolina keeper. What you do is you squeeze it with your pliers, and then it opens up a little hole a little cut in the middle, and you feed your line through that. You got to use 2 if you're using half an ounce or more. So that way you don't have to tie a knot for like swivels. You don't have to tie the 2 knots for the swivel for your leader and stuff like that. Now we have the beads that go between the sinker and the swivel. So the hard bead is good for, well, it's generally the thing to do is to use the hard bead. The soft bead I feel like protects the knot, so I started using those. The hard bead helps to keep the sinker from going over those tiny swivels. You don't really need the hard bead. You can get away with just the soft bead if you're using the larger swivel. This is a Matzuo sickle hook in number 6. I wanted to try this sickle style. I figured that with that sharp bend that the grub might stay in place just a little bit better, and I think it does. So here are the sinkers that I carry. Left to right, we have a drop shot, 1 ounce weight. I barely ever use that, but it does come in handy. I pretty much always use a 1 ounce slider. I fish in like the windy afternoons most of the time, so it's good to just fire it through the wind. I can get as much distance as I really need. 3/4 ounce is a good all-around size. Half ounce is probably the most popular size. This is tungsten weight. This is a 3/8 ounce. I'm experimenting with it a little bit whenever I can. It's just a like really small profile. It's more dense. That's what tungsten is favored for. I'm kind of trying it to see if it's more sensitive, if it's like a better presentation being more low profile. This is a Kalin's white 5-inch grub. Halibut guys like these. I've tried them a little bit. It's also a 3/8 ounce head, by the way. Last in the box is this little guy. This is like a 3-inch grub. I thought this looked a lot like a ghost shrimp. I use the 15-pound as a shock leader between my braid and my leader, or I'll use it as a leader to the reaction baits like the Flash Minnow and the Kastmaster. Really good shit. It's low memory and it's strong. It's consistent, good knot strength. I've never had an issue with it. I've been using it for probably 10 years at least. This is Andy Pink monofilament in 8-pound. I bought probably like an 1/8 pound or 1/4 pound spool, and that's probably like $10 or something like that. And then I bought separate spools, like blanks, empty spools online. They were probably like $1 a piece, and I bought like a dozen of them. I bought them like half a dozen in this size and half a dozen in this size for leader spools coming off of like the Andy bulk spools. And then I drilled a little hole. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see that? Got yourself your little hole right there. So I drilled that so I can put the line in there as like a line keeper. Procure Calico Cocktail Super Gel. I like this stuff as just a confidence booster. There are plenty of times where I don't use it, but you can use it on your grubs. And sometimes it makes the difference between catching fish and not catching fish. Thank you for watching my Fanny Pack presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I did. You can't take that away from me. Yeah. Like and subscribe. You know how YouTube is. I'm highly irregular. Also, I don't post much. Take what you can get. Maybe I'll monetize this bitch one day when I stop swearing. And in the meantime, I'm more than happy to answer questions or whatever.